Hello and welcome. Every man, at any stage of life, responds intensely when touched in the three right places. And this is no exaggeration. It's the body, mind, and emotions working in unison. A man's desire isn't just physical. It resides in the deeper layers of his mind. When you learn how and where to touch him, you don't just awaken pleasure. You access something ancient, instinctive, something that makes him look at you as if you are the only woman in the world. I am Dr. James, a longevity specialist with over 2 decades of experience, guiding women through phases of hormonal change, menopause, and intimate well-being. Over these years, I've discovered that intimacy after 50 has nothing to do with performance. It's about presence, connection, and true feminine energy. The kind that doesn't fade with time, but gains strength with maturity. Many women believe men only desire the obvious. But what's most intriguing is that the points that affect him most profoundly are the ones he thinks about the least. They are quiet, soft, and deeply emotional places, where sensitivity speaks louder than desire. Today, I will show you what these 3 places are and how to touch him in a way that breaks down barriers, awakens desire, and reignites the emotional connection between you. And stay until the end, because the last point I'll reveal isn't where you think, but it can completely transform how he responds to your touch. Now that you understand the power of intentional touch, let's start with the first place where every man feels something special: the back of his neck. This spot is simultaneously a symbol of strength and vulnerability. Many don't realize it, but it's one of the most sensitive and emotional areas of a man's body. It's a place where his body hears, even before his mind understands. Touching this area isn't just physical, it's almost psychological. When you slowly trace your fingers from the hairline down to the nape, you send a silent message. You can relax. You are safe with me. This is powerful, especially for men who spend their lives trying to maintain control, be strong, protect, and make decisions. This simple gesture invites him to let down his guard, as if you're saying, "Here, you don't need to be the protector. You can simply feel." I recall a patient, a woman just over 50, who told me her husband had seemed distant for months. I advised her, say nothing, just when you're near him, gently and unhurriedly touch the back of his neck. The following week, she returned smiling. "Doctor," he stopped what he was doing, looked me in the eyes, and pulled me closer. It was as if something awakened within him. That's what this touch does. It's not about intensity. It's about lightness. It's not about grasping, but about allowing the skin to feel your presence. The warmth of your hand creates a reaction that travels directly into his nervous system, descending his spine and awakening dormant emotions. And if you want to deepen the connection, bring your face closer. Let your breath lightly brush his skin as your hand glides across his nape. This blend of touch, warmth, and presence creates a memory his body won't forget. Because when you learn to touch him there, he doesn't just feel, he remembers you. And as that memory forms, you unlock the path to the next point. This next point is an even more intimate space where touch ceases to be merely physical and becomes deeply emotional. After you've awakened trust by touching his nape, we transition to the second point, the inner wrist. This is one of the most tender, yet often forgotten places on a man's body. It's precisely there that the heart truly opens. The inner wrist holds a subtle energy, directly connected to the heart's rhythm. When you touch this area with lightness, it's as if you're silently saying, "I feel you. I am here with you." Biologically, this region is rich in nerve endings and has an intense concentration of blood flow, where the pulse beats closest to the skin. This is a constant reminder that he is alive, present, and connected to the moment. Men rarely receive this kind of touch, tender, intentional, and non-sexual. Most physical interactions they experience are quick: handshakes, pats on the back, brief hugs. So, when you touch a man's wrist slowly and attentively, he feels something entirely different: intimacy without demands, desire without pressure. Try doing this when you're talking with him, perhaps during dinner or over coffee. Lightly touch the inside of his wrist, without holding or squeezing, just letting your fingers glide smoothly. Observe how the atmosphere changes. Perhaps he breathes deeper, or simply looks at you longer. This is his body reacting even before he consciously realizes it. This touch creates a subtle current of energy between you, almost like synchronizing two rhythms: his heart and your presence. It's a simple yet powerful gesture, with no words, only silent communication that says, "You are safe. I see you." The most beautiful part is that when this connection happens, desire grows from the inside out. He begins to associate your touch with calm, tenderness, and the rare feeling of being truly understood. Once this energy is established, his body will be ready for something even deeper. The next point, the third point, is where desire blends with a profound sense of belonging. This is a touch that unifies safety, attraction, and trust. The lower back is where everything you've built so far begins to connect, the very point where trust, safety, and desire meet. Few women truly understand how powerful this specific touch can be. When you gently touch a man's lower back, you activate a primal instinct of protection and belonging within him. It's as if his body understands, without words, that a deep exchange is happening, that he can relax and yet feel profoundly desired. I recall a patient, around 60 years old, who shared something striking with me. She mentioned her husband hadn't shown affection in a long time, so I asked her to perform a simple gesture. When near him, she was simply to place her hand on his lower back, saying nothing. At her next consultation, she returned visibly excited. "Doctor," she said. He stopped, looked at me, smiled, and pulled me closer. It was as if he remembered us again. And that's precisely what this touch accomplishes. It awakens memories and feelings hidden beneath the weight of years and responsibility. The lower back is an area rich in nerve endings connected to the spine and hips, zones associated with stability and strength. But beyond mere anatomy, there is profound symbolism here. It's a point where leadership and trust gracefully meet. When you place your hand there, even lightly, you're silently conveying, "I trust you, and I want you to trust me too." This gesture beautifully blends tenderness with a strong sense of presence, making him feel both grounded and desired. In public, this touch communicates a discreet intimacy, a silent way of saying, "We are together." At home, it transforms into an invitation for something more. The warmth of your hand, the gentle glide of your fingers, that firm yet calm contact, all of this sends a powerful message. You are my safe harbor, but also my desire. His body responds almost instinctively. His posture straightens, he draws closer, his breathing shifts. This isn't about control, it's about connection. And that is precisely why this touch lingers in his memory. In that simple, often overlooked area, a man feels seen, accepted, and desired. Once you experience the effect of this gesture, you'll discover there's another point, even more astonishing, capable of transforming admiration into pure desire. It's subtle, intense, and utterly unexpected. Now, let's discuss additional points you can explore when you wish to deepen the connection even further. These touches are not just about desire, but also about presence, admiration, and emotional bonding. They complement the initial three and transform simple moments into something truly memorable. The fourth point is the jawline. The jaw is one of the most expressive areas of a man's face. When you slowly and gently trace your fingers along it, you convey both respect and desire simultaneously. This is not a touch of possession. It's a touch of recognition. It's like saying, I see your strength, but I also see the man behind it. Men who spend their lives defined by what they do rarely receive touches that make them feel truly seen. This specific touch awakens that very sensation of being remembered, not merely desired. The fifth point, the lower lip, which represents the boundary between control and trust. When you trace its contour with your fingertips, without immediately kissing, you create a delicious tension. It's that space between not yet and maybe now. This brief moment of anticipation causes his body to react with longing and curiosity. It's a type of touch that doesn't demand, but only invites, and for that reason, it becomes unforgettable. The sixth point is the space between words, because sometimes, touch isn't in your hands, but in your presence. It's in the silence, in the gaze, in the pause before speaking. When you observe him intently, without needing to fill the void with words, he feels something profound. It's as if his body understands, here, I can truly be myself. This tranquility is rare and deeply captivating. Finally, the seventh point, the integration of all touches. Every gesture, every gaze, and every silence between you forms a language. When this language is mastered, desire transforms into something more enduring, a true connection. The secret isn't in doing more, but in doing with intention, because the body responds to what is genuine, and the heart recognizes what is true. These additional touches don't replace the initial three. They expand upon what has already been created. They are like small keys that keep intimacy alive, even after many years together. When used with calm, respect, and presence, they become the difference between an ordinary relationship and an unforgettable connection. Ultimately, it all comes down to how you touch and what you convey with these gestures. Every touch we've explored here, from the nape of the neck to the wrist, from the back to the jawline, carries a silent message that the body understands before words. When a touch is genuine, it doesn't just awaken desire, it builds trust, security, and intimacy. Because a man feels not just with his skin, he feels with his heart, his mind, and the meaning behind every gesture. When you touch with presence, he doesn't just yield, he connects. This is what keeps the flame burning, even after years of silence and change. So remember, this isn't about seduction. It's about making him feel. It's not about technique. It's about intention. The right touch at the right moment can reignite love, restore connection, and make him look at you again as he once did, or perhaps even more than before. If this content has resonated with you, please consider sharing this video with other women in your life. Someone out there might truly need to hear this message, to understand that love and desire don't simply vanish over time. They are often just waiting to be reawakened. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you already tried any of these specific touches? Please share your experiences. I read every single one with great care and appreciation. And who knows, your unique story might just inspire the topic for our very next video. Thank you for being here.